tentative. Yeah, here I am. So I finished my yoga session, and I was thinking that a lot of things came in my mind as I was taking my herb tea in my beautiful mug from my friend Victoria. And I was thinking about a lot of things I wanted to share with you. I thought all is connected. So I was, after doing my yoga session, I was like feeling to use my tune forks. That is new for me. I'm not a specialist about that. The specialist is Sandy. I posted her link on Instagram on my story. She's doing amazing session. And but she told me, oh, you should buy a set of tuning forks and have them, and sometimes, and when I feel, I do it. I'm not really, I'm not a professional at all. I have the little manual, and I'm reading, and I try to apply. But what is most important, most interesting to me is what I feel. So I know there is an order. I start usually with the ohms. It's like, so there is a kind of thing where you beat on. So I have two of them, and I start with the ohms, the ohm forks. And I just let like that until the vibration is totally gone. What I noticed is, for that I wanted to do a video. It came to my mind when I started the session to do a video, because as I was drinking my tea, and as we are mostly made of water, and also this morning it's cooler than these last days, and this morning I saw that my body was thinner. So I noticed that, when I make my tea, I fill, for example, 1 cup with hot water, and when it's becoming cold, there is less liquid. And this is also what is happening in our body when it's hot. When it's hot weather, I notice that I look much bigger than when it's like good temperature, like now. It should be maybe like 18-20 Celsius. And my body, because of the water that is inside, is like shrinking. And today I feel like slim and very good, and I have not done anything special. And because of the weather, it's just the electromagnetism also that is changing with the temperature. And it's like the liquid, and as we are mostly made of liquid, I'm sure you observe that when it's warm, you feel like more puffy, more like, and these days I was like, because it was very hot here. And now, so I was thinking about that, and when I started to do the tuning forks, I put my intention, because water is, I did a book many years ago that is called Au-delà Beyond Surfaces, and it's about water. It's about the miracle of water. I did this exhibition in Corsica and in San Francisco. And because I noticed that the medium, water is an entity, and my moon is in Pisces. I have 5 planets in water, so I grew by the water, and water is very, very dear to me. And even when I am in the desert, I'm connected to the water memory. I had some very interesting experience in Texas desert. The first time I've been in the desert in 2005. I was living in New York at that time. And the morning at 5 o'clock, I was waking up with the coyotes, and I was living in the middle of nowhere in a small dome built in clay. And I went out to pee, and it's really weird. It smells the ocean here. And we are inland, so far away from the ocean. So I was thinking, wow, this is so interesting. I said nothing to the group, I thought maybe they're going to think I'm crazy. I don't care, but And the year after I came back, and again, so every morning I was smelling the ocean, and I was like, wow. And that the year after, I said to Simone, who was our host, I said, you know, Simone, I have something weird to tell you. The morning early, I smell the ocean. And she said, sure, me too. So I was like, yeah. She said, yeah, it was the ocean here. And we are in touch with the memory. So, you know, all this is by the water. And we have this, and it's what we are made of. So if we are aware about this entity that is water, it's for that when I was doing my yoga session in Paris, following the yoga session with Renata Farah, Hatha Yoga, only 5 students at each session. She was ending the session, we had a meditation, but we had also a glass of water. And she was always very giving attention to that water, like blessing the water, but just by the intention, by putting our awareness, how sacred it is. Because without this entity, this element, we cannot survive. It's really, sure there is oxygen, but there is water as well. And water, it's like, you can be without food for many days, but without water, it's quite difficult. So there are a lot of studies about the memory of water. I'm sure you read some books about that, also some movies, and it's quite magical. And also, this makes me think about, my discussion is a little bit going in every direction. I was not planning to do any video or things, but one thing bring me to another one. And I was thinking, when I was a little girl, we were seeing all these drawings of snowflakes, and how there are different crystallization, different shapes, you know. And after, with the photography and the video and the studies that has been made of water, we can see the difference in the particles of water regarding to what they are exposed, to what music, to what sound. And you saw, I'm sure you saw here on social media, this video about when you put sand or water in a container and you put a sound, how this makes waves and how this interact, you know, with the container, with the sound. And this morning when I started, after the yoga session, to use home tune forks, it was very interesting because I was just, when I started the session, I just put the intention to be very present. And as I was taking my tea, I said, oh, I'm going to give an intention to the water and to the plant. Because my tea, you cannot see, it's at the farmer's market in Malibu. I buy, there is this little stand, big stand, where they have all these organic herbs, you know. And I buy every week thyme, oregano, and I use them to make a tea. I don't take tea that are in bags or this kind of thing. I use the plant directly, so it can be thyme or oregano. And if I found other teas, other plant, I'm inspired, I do my tea with that, so they are fresh. And I have just for the week, with a bunch of each of them, they cost $1.05, so $1.50 or $2. So for like $4 for the week, I have all my tea. And I can mix also. I put some drops of pine seed oil, and this is how I make my tea. Or some rosemary, I have them as well in at the small herb store, I could say. So on the farmers market, because our farmers market is tiny, but there is everything. There is even very good organic olive oil. there is everything. It's like amazing, very delicious bread, fish, meat for the meat eater. There is this tiny corner and this gentleman that is selling the meat that is adorable. So it's really nice. And so when I started, I go back to my forks, and I had this liquid, and I was thinking about all that and the intention we can put in water. I was thinking of the spirit of the plant that I have in my tea and connected to that. And I said, okay, I'm going to dedicate my tuning fork session to the benefits of the plants that are in my tea by the water. And this is going to go in resonance with the water I have in my body. And I started to do it with the home forks that are like that, because you can use them as I show you here. And it's interesting, when you move, you can see where in your ear it's stronger or less strong, and you can do around, if you have only one, around your head. And you can also do, for example, the vibration, because this is made like that. So you can also put this on your scalp, on your head, and you can feel, for example, here it's very strong and it's so good. It's like, So you can let you guide it, read, and go online to see video. And after, you can let you guide it and do like you like. Me, I have 2 of them, so I do this in symmetry. And when I started this morning, it was like, wow, I have to check in my book, because I forget all the time. My 2 front teeth on the top were like moving, and like, wow, it was vibrating there like I never felt before. So I say, oh, this is quite interesting. So I bought this set. I have I have 2 of the home. I have one for the pineal gland and the one for the pineal gland. I don't know if you can hear. It's very, very strong. So this one, I felt to do it at the end of the session. So I start with the home. I'm gonna, if you can hear, it's very low, like when you do home. It's very pleasant, It's like a cocoon, a shell that you built around you, and it's So this one, and after you have each fork that is connected to a center. So this is Ute. It's the red connected to the basic center, the root. So it's like that. I don't know if you can hear. And what I do 2 different things. I do it like that, so around my head. And I visualize the red color in my root center, in my basic center. So I can do it like that. And after, I can do it also orienting the fork towards the center and visualizing having in mind the red color in that center. And when I do that, I see it spinning in the clockwise. And when I am, very centered now, I'm speaking to you, so I'm less concentrated, but I can really feel the vibration. So this is the first one. After, the second one is the orange. It's connected to Ray. It's another sound. I give it to you. It's a beautiful shade. Orange it's a shade of, it's a shade of the monk, but it's also the shade of luxury, about pleasure, about, I love it, creation, creativity. And this you can do the same. You can do in the center. And you can imagine that this color goes in all your little cells by the water miracle in your body. Because even your bones has water. So, and you can do, it's good. So you can do it until the sound, and it can last like 1 good minute easily, even more. And you can end it there. So this I cut, but it lasts longer. Sometimes regarding how I beat, it can last even 2 minutes, up to the sound is completely gone. So I do that. So I do this 3 times. I do twice like that, and 1 in the center, and I visualize the color going, energizing the center with the waves, because it's like a wave, it's like a vibration. So that, and after you have the me that is connected to the center, middle center, that is like astral level, very strong. So the same, you visualize this yellow, golden yellow color, and you can bring it to your center and feel the vibration. It's very subtle, but you can imagine that this vibration and this color goes in all your cells or your body. And now we have the green one. Green is La. No, I cannot read. It's Fa. I'm not a musician neither, so you know. Fa. So this is Fa. It's green. It's connected to the heart center. You can say heart chakra. I prefer to say center of energy. And you imagine that this green is all in your heart, and all your heart center, it's also your arms, all this part of the body. And you imagine that your little cells are communicating with this, and are happy to have this vibration with the water that are inside, and it's like, ooh, you know. And you imagine this beautiful green emerald color in your heart. So when I do it, when I'm doing alone, not in video, I'm really taking time, and I'm really, focused on that. And this is the blue. So the blue is Sol. Sol is a little bit more subtle than the other one, and it's connected to here, center of expression. So you can direct there. It's good for the thyroid, and it's blue like water. So imagine this blue connected to the water of your body, and all your little cells very happy to move with that vibration. I love it. So it's connected to your center of expression. It's funny on that. Oh, I don't know what happened. My phone switched off. I hope I'm still here. I don't know what happened there. It's like weird. So I was with the blue. So the blue, it's center of expression, so it's linked to how you express. the language. So imagine this blue color in your center, and you can also do from one ear to another one. And after we have La, that is the purple, that is connected to the crown. Your corona chakra, the year of the corona, it's for everybody to be connected to their sovereignty, to their corona, to their crown. So it's that, you see. So you can have it like that. You can have it as well like that. You can also put the point like that. It's quite good. And you can also do, it's very thin, very high pitch. And the same, you visualize this color, this purple color in your center. And the cells, they communicated all together. And every color you work with gonna be like a rainbow inside of you. And I bought also this. I was intrigued by this pineal gland force, and this one, I don't know if you're gonna hear. It's very, very strong. So you do the same. And you imagine you connect with your pineal in the middle of your brain. So you can do it like that. And after you can do on your forehead, imagining that it goes to the pineal. This is silver. You can imagine silver or gold, or you can imagine silver and gold together. It's like transparency, silver and gold. And you can do several points on your scalp, on your skull, like that, always connecting to the pineal. Put your intention there. So voila, I wanted to share this with you. So I'm gonna end now. I don't know if it has been interrupted. I don't know what did happen with this blackout of my phone. It was all black, closed. And I hope I'm gonna be able to post this video. And like this, have in mind, work, maybe search a little bit about the properties of water, besides the fact that but the spiritual properties of water. As I told you, water is an entity, and you can connect with it when you are really putting your attention, and it can speak to you. It's happened to me once when I was in Tecopa, where there is this hot spring, and I felt to put my head where the water was coming out. I was in this little motel in the middle of the desert, Tecopa Hot Spring. I have my friend Amy there, and was taking care of the motel, and there are this little private pool in between the rooms, so it's very private, and you can be naked there and have your little pool for yourself. And there is a natural underground water, spring water, hot water, very hot coming. And I used to do my yoga in the water and some exercise, and after I said, I'm gonna rest and put my head where the water is coming out, in the pool. So I was like that, and the water was coming back on my skull. And suddenly it was like I was seeing her under the ground, running under the ground, coming toward me and telling me I wrote that, I forgot the proper word, but she was telling me that she came from deep, deep, deep to heal us, to love us. And it was a wonderful, I didn't want to move from there. And it was like in my mind, I was hearing her telling me this story, her beautiful journey from underground, just to bring goodness to us. And it was such a magical moment, totally unexpected, just because at a moment I just felt to put my head there. And it was wonderful, really wonderful. So I wanted to share this with you, and now I'm gonna close this little session. And I wish you a very good weekend, a very good night, or a very good day. And if you want information about tuning forks, you can go online. There are a lot of things on YouTube. You can get informed, and you can have a session. If you are here in LA, you can have a session with my friend Sandy. She is really amazing. Every time I do a session, my face is totally transformed. Totally transformed. It's like I feel, wow, it's so beautiful, I'm so beautiful. So, and I try to do a session a month. So it will be my time to be in touch with her now. And I really love it. It's really, it's wonderful. So a lot of things going on with the water thing. Watch the water, listen to the water, enjoy the water, speak to the water, be grateful to the water. It's an entity and it responds to you. It can communicate with you if you put your attention, if you are present to it. It's working. So it's worth it. And it's free. Have a nice day or a nice night. Bye. Bye-bye.